What's up everyone, SKULM here. In this video I will talk about my Season 8 PTR feedback, and I will specifically talk about the Necromancer as well. But in the first section of the video I will talk about my general feedback, I will talk about the general issues of Season 8 PTR, and then in the second section of the video I will talk about Necromancer specific things. I will talk about Necromancer point of view. Spoiler alert, I personally think that Season 8 is not looking good. Okay, without further ado, let's begin. So, the first section is my general feedback about Season 8. And Season 8 is looking bad because my first point is bosses are not fun, and the new mechanics seems like they are just implemented to make fights longer. Duriel, for example, he just burrows into the ground. When you take away his chunk of his HP, like 30% of his HP, he just burrows into the ground. You have to wait for him to get out, and then you DPS him again, and then he just burrows into the ground again, and then you kill him. So like a lot of the boss mechanics are just elongating the fight. Like they are there to prevent you from just quickly killing the boss. And we know that a lot of the mythic uniques will not be as frequently dropping as previous seasons. So in Season 8, this is just gonna increase the time it takes to actually progress in the game. So I think the boss mechanics should be reworked completely. They are not fun, and these new mechanics are just gonna be annoying for the people in the long run. They also kill the flow. Now, I am going to provide a prime example of how to make a boss fight fun. I think, for example, bosses should be replayable. Okay, so let's talk about Duriel. Right now we know that we take away his certain threshold of his HP, he's just gonna burrow into the ground. Instead of that, I think bosses should have random mechanics, random variants. So Duriel should have a 20% chance to do action A, and then 30% chance to do action B, and then 50% chance to do action C. Now, also there should be a bonus phase, a secret phase or a secret mechanic on Duriel. Alright, let's imagine that I'm fighting Duriel and I'm about to kill him, or his HP is halfway down, and he suddenly changes color. Duriel changes to purple color. And then I know that my character has triggered a secret phase, a secret boss mechanic. And if I kill that boss in that fight, I know that I'm gonna get a mythic unique with double grey traffics or triple or quadruple grey traffics. It's not gonna be one GA, it's gonna be multiple GA. Okay? Stuff like this are going to make these fights fun for players, and they're going to motivate players to keep killing these bosses. Whereas the mechanics you have just implemented in Season 8 PTR are going to be extremely annoying in the long run. I hope you rework them and change them as fast as possible. So, my second point about my general feedback in regards to Season 8 is making the pit difficulty harder and making pit 150 unreachable has no meaning for most people, because a lot of people have already gotten their pit 150 titles and achievements. This change feels more like taking the candy away from people. Now, I understand that there are some other people who are thinking the highest level of the pit should always be unreachable and it should be aspirational content. I completely respect that opinion, but I kindly disagree. I kindly disagree with that opinion, because if I'm a paying customer, if I pay for a game, I should be allowed to actually reach every type of content, every type of thing that the game offers. Okay? Otherwise, it's pointless, especially when you tie an achievement and a title to it. A lot of you might remember that the pits were usually designed to have 200 levels. Pit 200 was actually unreachable, and there was a title and an achievement tied to it. what happened to Pit 200? They deleted it from the game. There was a title and there was an achievement related, assigned to Pit 200, and it's gone now. So having this type of irrelevant content is not gonna motivate people. Now, I also do not think that anyone should be able to speedrun Pit 150 in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. That's also another extreme end of the spectrum. I also do not support that. So I kindly disagree with the opinion that the highest pit level should be aspirational and should be unreachable, but I also disagree with the opinion that says the highest pit level should be easily completed, it should be a speedrun content. I disagree with both. I personally think that Pit 150, or the highest pit level, let's say, should be clearable under the right conditions, and if a character is extremely well geared, Paragon 300, well versed, and it is being played by a very skilled player who knows what they're doing, such as paying attention to their rune words, optimizing, maximizing their character powers, positioning, and all that things with a high skill level, I think a Pit 150 or the max pit should be clearable around 11 minutes. And that should be the best case scenario. With the right conditions, right monster family, right map, it is being played by a very serious player who has invested a lot of time into the character, and this player knows exactly what they're doing, and it should take 11 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, maximum 10 minutes. Okay, not faster than that. I think that should be the balance we should be seeking. That's my personal opinion. I think that would make things a lot more fun, personally speaking, again. So, my third point is a lot of Season 8 boss powers are contradicting the quality game philosophy because seasonal powers are crucial and builds are designed around them. So, what do I mean? If you remember, if you watch the campfire chat, the developers have specifically said that they want the game to be more meaningful. Colin, I think, from the developers, who is a great guy, by the way. I like the developers of the game. And Colin said that Season 7, he actually specifically said something along the lines that Season 7 was a candy rush. Okay? It felt nice, but it's not gonna last any longer. So Season 7 was a candy rush or a sugar rush. You got what you wanted. All the sweets have dropped from heaven. You ate your fill, and now the dream is over. That's what he said, okay? Season 7, they made things harder. The pit is way harder in Season 8 because they want things to be more meaningful. They want things to be more challenging. So torment difficulties, hits, everything is way harder in Season 8. And then, when they follow this philosophy, they bring out boss powers. Hell yeah! These boss powers are so strong. So strong. Necromancer, Shadow Belial boss power. The Corruption Necromancer with the Belial boss power. Man, you just press one button and everything gets melted. So, this quality game, everything needs to have a meaning type of philosophy is being contradicted with the boss powers, the seasonal powers, because literally every player is going to create a build that supports a boss power. That's a seasonal power. What will happen when that season is over? Are we gonna get another more OP version of seasonal power in Season 9? That's disgustingly bad design. That should never, ever, ever, ever be supported at all. So I sincerely hope that our builds become more meaningful and the seasonal powers are there to support the builds, not become the masters or dominators of the builds, all right? Now, my fourth point is about the ultimates. Now, the 200% X damage cap on all ultimates is a bad decision. Not all ultimates were as strong as the Bloodwave Necromancer. different ultimates should have different damage caps. Blood Wave, Shadow Blood Wave dominates Season 7. We know this. This is a given fact. But Army of the Dead was clearing the old Pit 130. Right now it's actually bad, but why would you actually cap Army of the Dead on 200% X and you also cap Blood Wave at 200% X? Same goes to Bone Storm as well. Like, why would you do that? Can you please uncap those ultimates, or maybe at least change their caps so those ultimate builds might also have a type of attraction, a type of playability? Because right now, Minion Necromancer, I'm gonna come to that. Right now, Army of the Dead or the Minion Necromancer is pathetic, okay? So I personally think all ultimates should be treated differently. Shadow Blood Wave is super strong, so the 200% X damage cap I can understand, but I personally do not understand the same 200% damage cap on Army of the Dead. That's unacceptable. You need to change that. You need to look at ultimates differently and treat them differently, individually. Do your math. Don't do these lazy things. This is a super lazy decision. Don't do this. Change this. So, another annoying thing about Season 8 is the wait time for the boss chests. When you kill these bosses, they drop a horde, or chests, or whatever. You have to spend materials to unlock this. There is a wait time of 30 seconds. When you kill the boss, you wait. When you kill the boss, you wait. That's annoying. You wait, and then you open the chest, and then the boss spawns. That's 30 seconds. It kills the flow, and I think that wait time should be maximum 10 seconds, maybe less. Do not kill the flow. The flow is important. Hopefully you understand. So, this is the end of section 1 of the video. I talked about my general feedback, and oh no, one more thing. Masterworking, tier reset or checkpoint system, whatever you call it, bring it right now. It's super annoying. Bring masterworking tier reset. I want to be able to lock in my masterworking proc at tier 4 and tier 8, and if I reset at tier 12, it should reset back to tier 8. It should not reset back to tier 0. Okay? If you make this change, I promise you, players in your game are going to feel a type of progression. They're going to feel like they're progressing towards a goal, which is important. Right now, everything in your game is just an RNG fest, and it's bad. It's looking really bad. So, I'm going to focus on the Necromancer POV now. From a Necromancer point of view, Season 8 PTR, Shadow Blood Wave is still a great build because you can clear the new difficult pumped up Pit 100 without the boss powers. I have a video in my channel. I cleared Pit 100 during Season 8 PTR. It was beefed up, but I still cleared it without using the boss powers. So the 200% X damage cap on Blood Wave and all ultimates, it actually destroyed all the other ultimates, the other builds, while Shadow Blood Wave is still finding ways to perform. So it's a meaningless change if you ask me. Summon Necro is pathetic. It's actually bad. It's looking disgustingly bad. The new weapon, Sanguivore, is also disgustingly bad. If you play a Summon Necromancer, you should play with the Grandfather. It's by far the best weapon for a Summon Necromancer. Army of the Dead damage cap should be raised, and there were a lot of aspects and mechanics not working with minions. It's completely disaster right now. I personally think they should either raise the Army of the Dead damage cap or change the new unique weapon bonus effect so that the minions deal more consistent and bonus damage. Now, a lot of people, a lot of Necromancer players also do not like to play Army of the Dead. They want to play minions. So there's a divide in the Necromancer, Summon Necromancer community. There are people who say, I don't want to play Army of the Dead, and there are people who say, well, I want to play Army of the Dead. I think you need to find ways to synergize these builds together. Do not create a divide, do not branch them out, make them one build. Unyielding Commander's aspect is a great example. I think you need to bring out more aspects or change certain aspects to make Army of the Dead and Minions synergize with each other. All right? It's a disaster right now. You have to change that. For the future, I also want to talk about, in this part of the video, I also want to talk about some of my suggestions for the future, because they keep dropping the ball. Like PoE 2 did not kill Diablo 4. In fact, PoE 2 actually dropped the ball, but Diablo 4 is also dropping the ball, which is super annoying to watch. And for the first time, I have seriously considered skipping an entire season. I have played all seasons of Diablo 4. I have played all PTRs as well. And for the first time, I have actually thought about entirely skipping Season 8. Because in Season 7, I said, hey, there are no official leaderboards, there are no official competition, there is nothing official, no official leaderboard, no official competition. So just enjoy the game. Play Shadow, Bloodwave, Necromancer. If you want, you can clear the pit, register your run in unofficial leaderboards, which is also fun. But have fun. You can have fun in Season 7. With Shadow, Bloodwave, Necromancer, you can actually have fun in the game. In Season 8, I cannot say this at all. Like, I cannot say it. We need to have massive changes for Season 8. So, for the future, I already released a video talking about how Diablo 4 can become the best ARPG. I have provided my personal ideas, a lot of ideas in that video, and a lot of those ideas were well received by the community. So the developers are welcome to check out that video. I will link it down below in the video description and in the pinned comment below, okay? Feel free to check it out. A lot of interesting ideas that were well received by the community there. So another point I want to talk about for the future are boss fights. I think boss fights should be fun and replayable. Season 8 failed to achieve this. I have talked about this. Bosses should have random mechanics priority, so not all boss fights are predictable and not all boss fights are the same. Also, you should add secret mechanics or secret boss mechanics or secret boss phases to the fights, where there should be a 5% chance to trigger that or 10% chance to trigger that. But when a player triggers that phase, the boss becomes harder to kill, more challenging to kill, but the rewards should be more attractive as well. As I said, it should be maybe a guaranteed double GA or triple GA mythic unique that is going to drop if you prevail against the boss. If you kill that boss in that secret phase or secret mechanic, you should get a better reward. So I think certain RNG bonus effects, certain secret boss phases and boss mechanics could bring certain flavors to boss fights and make them more replayable. Right now, players are going to be unmotivated. They will not want to spam farm these bosses. They will not enjoy this replayable content because, in all honesty, it's not replayable at all. So another of my suggestions is to bring a new endgame content, maybe something like the Uber Tristram challenge, where the goal of the player is to survive instead of maximizing damage. If you look at the pit meta right now, every build in the pit is focusing on damage. The entire purpose of the builds are focusing on damage. Paragon boards, full damage. Aspects, full damage. Everything is focusing on damage. Maybe we need another type of endgame where the endgame purpose is to survive. Okay? The damage is fine, it will come by itself, but maybe we need a different endgame content where different endgame builds prevail because they can survive better, because they are super tanky. In this endgame content, every enemy should hit like a truck, so mythic unique items such as Tyrael's Might or the Melted Heart of Selig are super crucial for builds, and they are meta items. So you're actually hitting two birds with one stone, because if you bring this new type of endgame content where survivability is your top priority, unused mythic items will become meta. Tyrael's Might will become meta. Melted Heart of Selig will become meta. So players will now create builds that are rotating around those items. They will think about implementing those items to their builds. So maybe consider what I say in this video. It should be a different endgame content for sure, and it will also boost up the importance of unused mythic unique items. So we need another type of endgame where survivability focused tanky builds are needed for the challenge. Again, the Uber Tristram challenge from Diablo 2 Resurrected could be reworked and revitalized, and it could be implemented into Diablo 4. Why not? That's it for this video. I have provided my feedback. I hope this video was enjoyable for you. I tried to be as positive as possible and as objective as possible. I apologize if I broke anyone's heart. That was not my intention. As always, I will keep you updated. I'm going to bring Season 8 Necromancer builds. Obviously, I'm going to play it. I'm not going to abandon my Necromancers. I will release more videos in the near future. I'll see you in the next time. Take care.